Good morning and welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and I am welcoming all of my practical rebels to our card reading today. And we actually have two cards today. Kind of a funny story. My hands are tired from all of the writing I did yesterday at the first day of the Tony Robbins Unleash Your Power event, and I got something else to share with you from that, but wasn't hanging on to the cards too well as I was shuffling, and two of them hit the floor, and I'm like, are these the ones? And the sense was, yes, these are the ones. So I think you're gonna enjoy these cards. They're spot on for a lot of things. Welcome to whomever just popped on. Maybe it's my fellow Tony Robbins mate. We will see. Yes, it is. Good morning, Cindy. You're up and alive again, huh? That was not a whole lot of sleep. I think, well, we started at 9 a.m. my time, and we ended at 10:20-ish p.m. With very few breaks and very little time off. So I am wondering how I will feel on day 4 of this little adventure, but day 1 was amazing, absolutely amazing. There were over 40,000 people from almost every country in the world on this call, and they broke us out into sections so that, yes, an hour later by you, because you're on Eastern time, broke us out by sections because they needed a way to manage us. And I think my section had like anywhere from, it varied depending on who could be on when, because some people were up in the middle of the night watching this, participating in this. You don't just get to watch, one must participate. So there were several hundred in each pod, and there were a lot of pods, so quite the interesting deal. But what we ended up with for cards for today, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't, yes, people from Australia, so people were up in the middle of the night to start. I think was it with the Australians? It started at 1 a.m. I believe is when it started for them. So then we went 13 hours or whatever the heck it was. So it was very interesting. And of course, he has this big panel where we can see a bunch of the other people. We can't see everybody because there's no way they could get 40,000 people on there. But you could see various people and see out their windows and see that it was dark where they were when it was light where you were. So it was kind of humbling. It's kind of humbling. Apparently, this is the largest online event that ever has been held. 40,000 plus people. So quite the production, quite the production. So I'm waiting for a few more of our peeps to pop on. I'm thinking it's because I was a few minutes early that we started, but I'll tell you what our deck is for today. It is the Allowing Prayers deck, 57 Invitations to Spark a Conversation with Your Soul. It's by Siobhan Nash. And I love this deck. I actually got this deck from a friend of mine, Marna, and I think Siobhan is a friend of hers. So allowing prayers. So let's just take a few minutes and take some nice deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. That feels good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Allowing your shoulders to drop. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, allowing your crown chakra to spin open, receiving healing golden light. Breathe in through the nose. Good morning, Caroline. Welcome. Out through the mouth, allowing that healing golden light to move through your entire being. Welcome to whomever else just popped on. Lucy, good morning, good morning. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just breathing, clearing, settling. Thank you for the sunshine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Gwen. Now my peeps are starting to show up. Welcome to all of my practical rebels. Glad you are all here. And again, we have the Allowing Prayers deck by Siobhan Nash. And we ended up with two cards. They leaped out of the deck to the floor, and I'm like, okay, that must be it. So we're going to, each card, as we've seen in the past, has 2 questions on it. So if you're someone who likes to jot them down in your journal, feel free to grab that. So we'll actually have 4 questions total, and then I want to share something that we did at yesterday's Tony Robbins event that was pretty powerful. And again, 40,000 plus people on this Zoom. Well, some were on Facebook, some were on Zoom, some were on Telegram. People were on all different. Good morning, thank you for the hearts. We're on all different devices. But it was quite the energy load. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the rest of you felt that energy load, because it was something. So here's our first of 2 cards. Again, just keep breathing deeply and easily. Allow the golden light to be filling you up, and it'll fit lovely with our first card, which is allow release. Allow release. And we certainly did that yesterday also. So here's your first question, and I love one of the particular words she chose because it really calls us out, kindly and lovingly, but it calls us out if we are indeed doing this, which most of us are. So here's the first question. How are you dishonoring yourself by holding on to whatever no longer serves you? How are you dishonoring yourself? Good morning, Peggy. By holding on to whatever no longer serves you. And one of the things Tony Robbins talked about yesterday was how many of us have a huge need for certainty. We need to be certain about stuff. And I can see that huge need for certainty being one of the things that keeps us hanging on to stuff that's well past its prime in our world, that would be good to release, but then we step into the unknown, right? And many of us are uncomfortable with the unknown. Good morning, good morning. The problem with resisting the unknown is we are then resisting life, because life is unknown. Our future is unknown. Do we have some prediction? We like to believe we do. And it comforts us to believe we do. But those who can embrace uncertainty, those who can appreciate novelty in their life, this day's different. Let's see what's different about this day. Really are able to grow and stretch and achieve much further because they're not sticking so close to the shore. All right? So just being honest and kind and loving with yourself about this question. How are you dishonoring yourself by holding on to what no longer serves you? And then the second question is, you were one of those people who need certainty. We'll see how that changes. We need to have a chat about what were our first ones and what were our second ones. I was the classic, whatever those 2 were. So yes, and I can see the value in releasing that. So I picked it differently the second time around. Second question is, if you let it go, that need for that thing you're holding on to that you think you need, if you let it go, what would you be making space for that is deserving of your time, energy, and attention? What's lurking in the weeds out there that is overly deserving of your time, focus, attention, but it's waiting for you to move out what no longer serves, so there's space for it to come in? Just allow the answer to come to you. Close your eyes and breathe. Not if you're driving, just close your eyes and breathe. What is it that's out there that's waiting to come in, that doesn't have room right now because I have not yet released this thing, this action, this person, this behavior, this job, whatever it is, this belief that no longer serves me? And when I let it go and I breathe into that open space for however long it needs to be open, what's ready to come in? If you want to put your answer in the feed, that'd be awesome. What's ready to come in? And if you don't know, or if all you're hearing is crickets, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That is part of your process. That might be your opportunity. And that was one of the things that I came up with for one of the situations that we worked through in Unleash the Power was, yes, it is the perfect card. Wait till you see the second one. Now I lost my train of thought. Shouldn't have answered that. Anyway, that's okay. And I glanced over and I saw I've got the Telegram thing open where they give us information. And creating this beautiful state within, that we get to choose what kind of a state of being we're going to live in and who we allow to mess around with that state. The ultimate would be we choose our beautiful state and we stay in our beautiful state, regardless of what's going on around us, regardless of what's happening. That triggered the reminder. One of the things that I put as I was doing some journaling on one of the questions was, when something seemingly difficult happens or one of those conflicts come up, that's sort of my trigger thing, I'm going to say out loud, opportunity knocking, because I want to cue my brain, especially the reptilian part of my brain, that this is indeed an opportunity. I'm going to be the optimist who chooses to see the opportunity in every difficulty. I'm no longer the pessimist who sees difficulty in every opportunity. Money's holding you back. You feel like money's holding you back. Money's an energy. Money's an energy. We stop up the flow. We stop up the flow. So own that. Just own that. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. Just own. I have stopped up my money flow for right now. We're going to have all kinds of amazing things that we're going to be doing over the next 3 days. And again, this thing was long. Started at 9 a.m. here Central Time, and we got off the Zoom at 10:20 p.m. with very few breaks. I had to take more breaks. When the bladder clock goes off, it's time. So drank a ton of water, had some snacks. I felt empowered by the process. I really felt empowered by the process. So allow release is our first card. Allow release. How are you dishonoring yourself by holding on to whatever no longer serves you? And if you let it go, what would you be making space for that is deserving of your time, energy, and attention? And now, Cindy, you're going to love this next card. So as we're allowing release, then we move into allowing love. Allowing love. So take a breath. Let it go. Good morning, Diane. We just finished up the allow release card, and now we are moving on to the allow love card. And then I have one more thing I want to share with all of you. So here's the first question on the allow love card. How are limiting beliefs keeping you stuck in a difficult situation? Can you see the synchronicities between these two cards? How are you dishonoring yourself by holding on to whatever no longer serves you? How are limiting beliefs keeping you stuck in a difficult situation? That might be the job you're afraid to leave. That might be the marriage you're afraid to leave, or at least to challenge. We either improve this thing or it needs to be done. What else are you allowing in your life that really no longer serves you? How are limiting beliefs keeping you stuck in a difficult situation? And a lot of that stuff, if we don't say it out loud, it was created in childhood when we often don't have the cognitive capacity yet for abstract thinking or all kinds of stuff. Expansive thinking, we're very limited, but we set down all these beliefs. Mom yelled at us one day because she was exhausted. We didn't see that. We just assume I'm a pain in the ass. Incorporate that into our belief system. Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm a pain in the ass. And it becomes part of our lived experience. It's time to winnow out some of that stuff, release some of that stuff. The first step is figuring out what's there. What are the limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in a difficult situation? Just quiet yourself and listen within. And if you want to put them in the feed, that would be awesome too. Then we can all throw energy at the releasing of that thought. Welcome to whoever else has popped on. And then the second thing is, what loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? What loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? And that might be going back and watching some of the videos that we did for the book, Taking the War Out of Our Words. It might be the boundary stuff. It might be the prediction stuff, statements of our stance. But maybe you go back and you watch a couple of those videos to give yourself a a boost on, okay, here's what I need to address with this. What loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? It might be better self-care. It might be practicing saying no to things that do not serve you. If you get stuck in obligation and duty and someone calls up and says, hey, do you want to do the cookie drive? And you feel that obligatory pull, sorry, I can't help this year. I can bring some bakery, I can, do A, but I can't do B, C, and D. Sorry. Hope you have good luck finding somebody. If you're new to setting those kind of boundaries, say very little. Because the more you say, the more you're going to talk yourself into doing what you don't want to do. Okay? Feeling you were never enough, working on that now. And it is painful and beautiful because Creator made us all not just enough, but fabulous. Fabulous. We don't have to do anything to earn Creator's love. We are lovable simply because we exist. And that's a hard concept, especially for a lot of us who were raised with that idea of original sin, or the idea that if someone else isn't pleased by us, there must be something wrong with us. No, it could be that their lenses are crappy lenses. Okay? Nothing's going to please them. So I'm going to read our 4 questions again, and then I want to share something else. So for the Allow Release card, the questions are, how are you dishonoring yourself by holding on to whatever no longer serves you? If you let it go, what would you be making space for that is deserving of your time, energy, and attention? So we're not participating in the drama triangle anymore. And I always say, especially to my daughter, don't save the drama for your mama. She doesn't want it either. She doesn't want it either. Yes, that original sin thing is bullshit, in my opinion. Absolute bullshit. God made beautiful human beings. God made all these creatures. There's nothing wrong with any of us. Nothing. Okay? We don't have to earn our place. We just are the divine children of God. So there. Allow love. How are limiting beliefs keeping you stuck in a difficult situation? What loving thing could you do to improve the situation for yourself? All right? Then, so when I signed up for this Tony Robbins thing, it was, again, one of those things where I felt the pull. I just knew I was supposed to do it. I've read his stuff since the late 80s, early 90s. So I'm very familiar with what he does and how he does it. But participating is a whole different ball of wax. So he had this little free webinar thing. There were a ton of people on that too. And it gave us the opportunity to sign up for Unleash the Power. So again, 40,000 plus people on this call. That's heartening to me. We have 7 right here. 7 right here. We're all putting out good energy that then other people pick up and put forth, and we get these ripples of the good energy going. Peggy's saying that throwing out stuff is helping. Yes, stuff can become our armor, can't it? We can get encased in this stuff. So yes, clear. And both of these cards, the allowing release and the allowing love card, are about clearing situations, clearing limiting beliefs, clearing. So one of the things that we did yesterday that was a clearing exercise, good morning Lisa, welcome, was he had us break a board. Good morning Mel, glad you are here. Do you want to know how scared shitless I was about breaking that board? Do you want to know how many times I tried to talk myself out of actually doing it? So they mailed us a little kit. Yes, releasing tears does lighten your heart. Actually, Diane, if you can link in that poem, if you want to put that in the feed, that would be awesome. She sent me a poem by John Riddell, who, if you haven't read his poetry or heard his poetry, it's Roedel, amazing poet. And you can tell that his poetry comes from his pain. And this one was on grieving, and it was amazing. It was fabulous. So we get our box, and in the box is a board. And I'm like, what the hell is the board for? And then in one of the conversations, it was made clear that we were going to be breaking through something, a barrier that keeps us stuck. Yes, he is amazing. And he's amazing because he's willing to be exactly who he is. He doesn't do the facade thing. He's just, here I am. Here I am, exactly as I am, warts and all. So, so here's how I tried to talk myself out of it. First, there was the inkling thought of, I'm not going to sign up for, early on when I figured out that we were going to be doing this thing, I'm not going to sign up for this. And I was like, no, I'm signing up for this because I knew I was being led to do so. Then it was like, well, maybe I just won't do the board thing. I'll do it on my own. I won't do it when everybody else does it. Because there's the thoughts of, what if the board doesn't break? What if I can't break through whatever this thing is that they're going to be setting us up to break through? What if, what if, what if? You know me, the what ifs. So, in true Bonnie fashion, I made myself answer the question, what if? What if I don't break through the board? Well, that doesn't mean I'm a failure. That simply means I need more help with this thing. And it was interesting because they actually had a button on the thing that you pushed if your board didn't break. If you couldn't get your board to break, you pushed a button and they then coached you through getting your board to break. So they had us take our board. I came up with yesterday every excuse known. Well, my dad's sleeping in the other room. I don't want to wake him up. I don't want to scare the dog. Some people hadn't gotten their boxes, so they didn't have their board. So they were telling them, take a piece of paper and write on the paper what it is you're going to be breaking through and do the paper. And I'm like, well, I could do a piece of paper instead. And I'm like, Bonnie, quit being a weenie. Step up here. You decided to do this for a reason. There was a purpose to this. There's a method to his madness. Go all in. Go all in. So then the next step is you write on the board what it is you're breaking through. And I'm like, well, I could pick this safer thing or this safer thing or whatever. And it's like, no, put the big stuff on there. So there it is. Fear, 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 fear. And I'm watching the other people as they're preparing their boards. And then we had to do the other side, which was what are you replacing that fear with? What is it you're wanting to get to, right? So mine was, let me turn it around here. I am unstoppable. I don't take no for an answer. There's always a way I break through all bullshit. I am unstoppable. So I got it sitting on the 2 file cabinets. That's what you put too? Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I'm glad we're walking this path together. So put it on the things, and he's showing us video of this little bitty woman, Mary, who he's setting up to have her break through her thing. And her thing was timid, being timid. And so he walks her through the whole thing, and she smashes that board and breaks it. Then he shows us a video. The one woman didn't get a board, didn't have a board, so she got a different board, and it was thick. And I'm like, oh, holy crap. And she hits it, and it doesn't break. And that was like this huge rush of fear for me, like, oh my God, see, it doesn't break. What are you going to do when yours doesn't break? She's got him on the thing. It's a few tears ran down. It was like, no, I am done with this. And it really isn't about breaking the board. It's about breaking through your fear. So it's done. It's done. And actually, Cindy did hers earlier. Anywhere in the process, you could actually break your board. And she did hers first, and I'm like, oh shit, she did it. Now I'm going to have to, what if I don't? Yeah. And it broke. And I was like, oh, and then you get to celebrate. So there's all these people on the screen jumping around and carrying on and having an awesome time. And way back in the beginning, one of the things that he said was, because we're doing this virtually, typically he does a fire walk. He has people walk across fire. Thank you. Yes, I was quite pleased. Quite pleased. So this is going to be sitting on my desk for a while, and it's going to be on the I am unstoppable side. And much of this was about the intentional community and creating the intentional community, and there being a lot of naysayers. There just will be. I know that. And what would snag me about the naysayers is when they say something that I think in my head, one of those old prehistoric limiting beliefs that keeps me stuck. It's my crap personified out there. It's projected out, coming out of someone else's mouth. So again, my thing now is I'm going to say opportunity knocking. If I feel that little twinge of, oh, what if they're right? Opportunity knocking, because I want to challenge all this stuff. I don't want crap getting in my way. I want this to be an expansive lifetime, not curling in on myself, right? And we've all had those moments. We've all had those moments where we doubt, where we have fear, whatever. But we can break through. We can break through. So those are our cards for today. Allow release, allow love. How awesome are those? So if I remember, I'm going to jump back on right away and post this. If I remember, yes. So I'd love for all of us practical rebels to be practicing opportunity knocking. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. When something difficult is unfolding, say opportunity knocking out loud. If someone looks at you crazy, explain what you mean by that. All right? I think that can be a gift we give ourselves and a gift we can give to others that keeps on giving. So I'll see if I can remember to put all 4 of these questions in the feed so you can journal on them. Have an awesome day. We jump back on our call at 9 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock Cindy's time, and God knows what time we'll get off tonight. We'll see, but amazing stuff coming our way. And remember that you are capable of far more than you think you are. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.